Are Depth Guard any good? As we wind down the regular units, I foray for the first time into the elite infantry of a roster that has historically spurned real infantry, and for that matter, I recall Depth Guard were objectively worse in times past. They're better, but how good are they now? And are they worth it to you? Let's take a deeper look. Please like, subscribe, comment, and donate plundered spoils to my Ko-Fi Hidden Cove. All support does help. Recruited for 1200 gold, in campaign for an even 300 upkeep, the vanilla Depth Guard come at 60 entities on Ultra, with 7200 health between them, for 120 health per entity. If this seems low, it kind of is. You have to accept going in that Depth Guard are a relatively low HP elite unit, as in a magnet for artillery, spells, and what have you. Armor comes in at 90, which is very high compared to zombies, but not to the best for infantry in the game by any means. There are no shields. Leadership is 60, which is decent but hardly top tier. Speed is 36, which is decent but hardly top tier. It's just better compared to zombies. And Chaos Warriors. Charge speed is 46. Melee attack begins at 50 with an attack interval of 3.8, which is pretty nuts. There is no splash damage with this unit. Melee defense is 36, and that's just okay. Weapon strength is 64 out of the depths, with 46 base damage and 18 armor piercing, making them hit very hard against general targets and okay against your middling to high armor sorts like Saurus Warriors. There's a mild bonus versus infantry of 5. Charge bonus is 30 and mass is 160. There are two main considerations before moving on. 1. The unit has the Hunger, giving each entity regeneration while the unit as a whole is in melee combat. This will slow the rate of its destruction in battle. 2. The unit has Frenzy. I said the unit has Frenzy. This means that it's really a default melee attack of 60 with 10% added to weapon strength and charge bonus for good measure. In the Lord Redline skills and beyond, here's the thing I need to point out. Everything that went toward regular bottom barrel deckhand mobs applies to Depth Guard here and now. So held together by screws adds a maximum of plus 6 leadership and plus 6 melee defense, strongly firming up the unit even at rank 0. But at rank 7, Depth Guard benefit from Deadly March, adding plus 18 armor, plus 8 melee attack, and 15% missile resistance. Where these boosts seemed wasted on deckhand mobs, all of a sudden they're of tremendous consequence here. Factoring in boosts from being rank 7 in and of itself, Depth Guard go from base 59 melee attack to 67 melee attack, bringing you to 77 melee attack, not including charge bonuses as applicable or bonus versus infantry. Armor is now 108, and melee defense is 49. In the tech tree, Hardened Pirate Scum adds plus 2 to recruit rank. Marine's upkeep drops 15% from the base upkeep for Depth Guard, and remember, the upkeep is pretty substantial for them. Unliving Reflexes adds plus 5 melee attack, so with my above example, rank 7 Depth Guard would have 54 melee defense by now. Particularly notable is Salvaged Arsenal, which adds a whopping 20% weapon strength to Depth Guard. I mean, yes, it adds that for deckhand mobs too, but nobody cares, right? Right? Here, it matters, and you get it on top of Frenzy. That said, you also weren't getting weapon strength in the Redline skills. That's all you get that is specific to Depth Guard. As for how you use them, these are double-axe, armored, frenzied vampire fanatics. In other words, they're like Gore Horde, with fewer models, more armor, and limited regeneration in combat. The Vampire Coast thrives in a lot of areas with its ranged combat, but Depth Guard? Just the fact you are using them at all begs for you to have Lore of Vampires or Lore of Death available to assist your efforts. Vampire is obvious, Das Macabre. And healing. Death is less obvious, but Soul Blight, reducing enemy armor by 30, can make the heavy base damage of regular Depth Guard hit much harder. In the end, wiping out infantry better is very niche, but the middle to late parts of the Coast roster have a lot of larger-than-man-sized units that struggle to rip apart packed spearmen, especially elite ones. Ideally, you're slipping Depth Guard in the middle of zombie hordes, but any kind of condition where you've softened up the foe and can get them in pitched melee in a favorable situation, you will bog down and whittle to pieces units that would give your Morn Ghouls or Rotting Prometheans fits. They are brutal, high-energy scalpels, vulnerable to being drowned in archer and magical fire, but nonetheless able to cut through 10 times their number of Skaven. There's a place for that. It may be a niche place, but it's a rude shock for opponents expecting you to be zombie, ranged zombie, or monster and nothing else. It's just best to pair this with the proper magical support. Your zombies may be more expendable, but healing has much more impact with the higher the quality and the lower number of entities you have in a unit. Take care, and have fun making blood flow like you're moonlighting for corn!